I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to Leesburg, Florida. If you wonder where Leesburg is, it's about 45 minutes south of Ocala. If you're wondering where Ocala is, it's about 45 minutes south of Gainesville. Leesburg is right, as you can tell, it's very, very windy out today, right in the middle of Florida, pretty much. I'm going to try to cover this, make sure. Well, sounds okay. You can hear the plane, see the plane taking off right over there. See it? Let me turn around, see if I can get you a good shot. There goes right there past that pole. Right here is a private airstrip. Runway here. It's runway back there. And this is the location I've always wanted to come out to. I've looked it up for years. I'm a huge fan of music. I think a lot of my viewers are as well. If you're not familiar with the name Randy Rhoads, you're familiar with Ozzy Osbourne, you're familiar with Quiet Riot. Randy Rhoads is one of the original founders of Quiet Riot when he was 16 years old. And then he joined, I'm just taking a look, it's a swampy area, it is Florida, never know. On two of Ozzy's solo albums after he left Black Sabbath, Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Ozz. So Randy Rhoads, pretty much a prodigy, incredible guitarist, and tragically lost his life right over here, right just past these over these fences. I'm going to show you himself, a makeup artist named Rachel Youngblood, and the pilot of the plane, who should not have been flying, and he wasn't the pilot of that plane. He was the bus driver of the tour bus, who happened to know how to fly planes, and took it out for a joyride. Now, parts of this story I thought in the past, when I had read about it, I always thought that Randy Rhoads was part of the egging on. There was an accident, but it could have been prevented. I thought Randy Rhoads was egging on the pilot to clip the bus. To buzz the bus, not clip the bus, sorry, buzz the bus. Buzzing is what it's called. That's not the case. From what when I read, I thought there was drugs and alcohol involved with all three of the people on the plane. That's what I thought. Only the pilot, Andrew Aycock, had cocaine in his system. Randy Rhoads had small traces of nicotine in his system. So, I'm going to tell you about what happened on that morning. We're going to walk over. I can't get onto the property. It is private property. I'm not going to trespass. I'm going to show you what I can from the road. We'll walk over there and tell you what I can tell you. Let's go. This is Airway Road out here in Leesburg. See, that sign's kind of faded. I thought, also another thing, like I said, I've looked up this location before and I had it on my list. Hadn't done, knew the basic story, but hadn't done all the research till about a week ago. So I was under the impression this was out in the middle of nowhere, really. But it's not too far out of Leesburg. It's right off the main road. Beautiful, beautiful area. Now I'm going to walk over here and you're going to see a sign. Jerry Calhoun was a country singer who owned a tour bus company. And this should be the sign. Yes. Entertainment coaches. There's something in those bushes. Entertainment coaches. And there you go. As I mentioned, Randy had a passion for guitar at an early age, and his passion was recognized, and he was admitted to a special program that allowed him to graduate high school early and began teaching guitar and playing with his band Quiet Riot, formed in 1973. Quiet Riot quickly became the kings of the Los Angeles rock circuit. The band's live shows were known for their party atmosphere, but their music was eventually pared down to simple chord progressions to allow for more accessible sound that disappointed Randy. After signing with CBS Records, Rhoads was unhappily constrained by the band's new sound and did not feel the recording came close to capturing what he could really do. The label was not impressed with Quiet Riot's efforts either, only releasing the band's 2 discs in Japan. Randy was frustrated, and when he got the call from a friend letting him know legendary Black Sabbath vocalist Ozzy Osbourne was vetting members for a new band, the prospect was too exciting to ignore. Randy auditioned for a very hungover Ozzy Osbourne in a hotel room and barely had time to finish warming up before Ozzy hired him on the spot. So it was March 19th, 1982. And Ozzy Osbourne and his band had just left Knoxville, Tennessee the night before, where they had played a show. They were coming to the Rock and Roll Super Bowl to play in Orlando. And their air conditioning on the bus broke, and they decided to stop here to have it repaired and to take a little rest. Without permission, tour bus driver and private pilot Andrew Aycock took a single-engine Beechcraft F-35 plane registered to a Mike Parton. On the first flight, Aycock took keyboardist Don Airey and tour manager Jake Duncan with him as passengers. During this first flight, Duncan later revealed that Aycock buzzed the bus in an attempt to wake drummer Tommy Aldridge. The group then landed, and a second flight soon took to the air with Rhoads and makeup artist Rachel Youngblood aboard. Though afraid of flying, Rhoads wanted to take some aerial photos of the countryside for his mother. He had tried unsuccessfully to coax bassist Rudy Sarzo to join him on the flight. Sarzo chose to get some extra sleep instead. During the second flight, more attempts were made to buzz the tour bus. Aycock succeeded in making 2 close passes, but the third attempt was the last. At about 10 a.m., after being in the air for approximately 5 minutes, one of the plane's wings clipped the top of the tour bus, breaking the wing into 2 parts and sending the plane spiraling out of control. The initial impact with the bus caused Rhoads and Youngblood's heads to crash through the plane's windshield. The plane then severed the top of a pine tree and crashed into the garage of a nearby mansion, bursting into flames. Randy was killed instantly, as were Aycock and Youngblood. All 3 bodies were burned beyond recognition, and Rhoads was identified by dental records and personal jewelry. According to Sharon Osbourne, who was asleep in the bus and awoken by the crash, they were all in bits. It was just body parts everywhere. Keyboardist Don Airey was the only member of the band to witness the crash, as the rest were still asleep on the bus. In his account, he explained that he was standing beside the bus taking photos that he planned to give to Rhoads later. He told us seen a struggle between Rhoads and Aycock in the cockpit as the plane approached the bus seconds before the crash. He says, "I had my camera and was taking photos of the plane to give to Randy afterwards. I had my telephoto lens on and could tell that there was some sort of struggle going on aboard the plane. The wings were rapidly tipping from side to side. At one point, the plane almost became perpendicular, no more than 6 feet off the ground. That's when I put down my camera and saw the plane right in front of me. I quickly crouched to avoid getting hit and looked over my shoulder and watched it clip the bus, crash into the tree, and explode on impact into the garage." Aycock, the pilot, his estranged wife Wanda had spent that last night on the bus, and band members knew the driver was attempting to reconcile with her. Witnesses described the driver's state of mind as agitated in the hours before the fatal crash. According to witnesses, Wanda emerged from inside the bus shortly after the second flight took off and was standing in the doorway watching the plane as Aycock made his final approach. Airey and Sarzo both surmised that Aycock, having suddenly seen his estranged ex-wife appear, may have snapped and made the impulsive decision to kill her by crashing the plane into the bus. Speculation regarding motives aside, Sarzo believes that the driver-pilot's troubled emotional state that day, worsened by the effects of the cocaine and the fact he hadn't slept, was the reason for the crash. Given the struggle in the cockpit described by eyewitness Don Airy, Sarzo came to the conclusion that Rhoads' actions in the last seconds of his life prevented a direct hit with the bus, which potentially could have killed the pilot's ex-wife and everyone else on board. It was confirmed after autopsy that Aycock had tested positive for cocaine. Rhoads' toxicology test revealed only nicotine. So I'm just kind of off on the side to the property. Some giant bighorns here. Crazy looking at them. That's not the house. The house is right there. It's hidden behind those trees. The garage to the right. Tour bus to the right of that. And you can see the airstrip going through. They are making some crazy noises and they're all coming right towards me right now. Like, trying to intimidate me, but I'm not going to let them. The airstrip is right there, going right across. This is where we saw that plane take off earlier. This is the location right here. As I said, beautiful, beautiful area. Absolutely beautiful. About 3 or 4 houses. That's a mega house there. Look at that fountain. Can you see the fountain? There it is. The fountain is just crazy beautiful. You're looking out straight ahead. That's where the house was. And just, if you use these 2 trees line up, that's pretty much exactly where the garage is. Well, no, it's about there now. Straight ahead. About 200 feet. This guy wants trouble. Now, I've always wanted to visit Randy Rhoads' grave, and I've always had a request to visit Randy Rhoads' grave. Holy jeez. They were all just literally galloping, running towards me. I've never seen like 12 of them. That was nuts. That was pretty cool. Sorry about that. So, I've always wanted to visit his grave. It's out in San Bernardino, California. Here I am in Leesburg, Florida. That's a long way away. But I always make it to California at some point, and always find my way back there in Los Angeles area. So let's put a pin in this. Let's press pause. For you, it'll be 1 second. For me, it'll be a couple of months. I don't know how long till I get back out to California. But I'm going to include his grave as part of this video because I want to visit his grave, and I think it'll be a nice. When something's dark like this, I always like to try to be able to pay my respects and have you come along with me for something like this, and we can go to his grave next time I'm in California. So I sit on videos and save them for months, sometimes years, since I've been on YouTube. Add them in. That's what I'm going to do now. And it's so windy. All right, I'm going to take a look at these cows a little closer, and I'll see you in California. I'm not sure what all of you want all of a sudden, but that was crazy. You all galloped over to me. How are you doing? How's everything today? Where's the black sheep? Who's the black sheep? Oh, hi. You've got big eyes. You have kind eyes. Why are y'all staring at me? I didn't put you behind that fence. I'd love to have you out here. quite a drive from Florida to California for Randy Rhoads here. I did not drive from Florida to California. I've been home to Toronto since, and now I'm in California. You're watching this video, it's taken over 4 or 5 months to film. Oh, February, March, April, May, June, yeah. I just came from the high desert, Death Valley area, Victorville, and Barstow up there. And my ears are popping going through the mountains. But I've made it to Mountain View Cemetery, and it never dawned on me that it'd be right at the base of the mountains here in San Bernardino, Mountain View. And right here is Randy Rhoads' final resting place. So let's go take a look. We made it. Just up there you see the hills in the background. And then those aren't hills, those are mountains. Same with there. And then right here, there's Randy Rhoads. So as you can see, a lot of people come out here and decorate. Some guitar picks, flowers, pennies. Some that I'll leave as well. Flowers, pinwheels, my favorite. And on this side as well. Flowers here. And there it is. Just as the sun is setting, I made it. And his mother, who passed away in 2015, Dolores, beloved mother, a life dedicated to music right above him. Randy Rhoads, 1956 to 1982, an inspiration for all young people.
You know, when you dream of things, you don't even dream of those. You just dream of being in a band and getting the chance to do it, let alone like, the records and the awards.
So around back, that's odd. But I did have somebody just now when I came in asked me to roll down the window, and it was already rolled down, and yelled into the car, "Praise Jesus," a few times. And that's my video about Randy Rhoads. It's a long time coming. I've had this plan for a while. And I made it. Getting out to San Bernardino from Los Angeles can be a bit of a hassle during the week. A lot of traffic. So I made a big detour from Hollywood, where I stay, all the way up through Death Valley, down around, came back down through the mountains. 5 days I've been out of Hollywood. Coming here. Rest in peace, Randy Rhoads. Rest in peace to your mom as well. Peace.